Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Khevarizmi Dicakayana and I am from SMAN 5 Tambun Selatan. For today's motion is this house would abolish primary and middle school years that group children based on age and instead group them by competency and intelligence, and I am on the opposition team. The first is I will going to rebuttal some of the arguments. First is the opening. The speaker, one of the affirmative teams, quoted that grouping children based on competency and intelligence instead their ages is academic streaming that will massively better than the current system's note. But to me, it will impact the students' mentality, and also since you group them based on the competency and intelligence instead their age, that will make the lower class students feel a certain emotion like insecure, jealousy, and etc. To the higher class, because of the how everybody view them, including the teacher, that will pay extra attention to the higher class. And since they thought they have the higher class students have more potential than the lower class students, which is why I say grouping students based on ages is much more benefits and rights for the system of education world. Because if we group them based on the age, the one with a high intelligence or the competency or maybe have more potential and skills can help the students that needs extra attention on understanding the subject or the material. It's like helping a friend that don't understand the subject. The benefits for the high competency and intelligence students is when helping the others that they will always be memorize the subject of the material because it keeps repeating when teaching or helping to others, and can also create a strong bond between each other and also for the student that needs underdevelopment or maybe have standard IQ or lower IQ. They will gain more knowledge because the studies confirm that a student gained much more knowledge with a friends rather than a teacher teaching them in front of the class. And also, I will be moving on into the two important elements of the argument that the Speaker One affirmative team has said. And first on, I will go into rebuttal argument number one. On the argument number one, the affirmative team of Speaker One claimed that, firstly, education should be personalized as like schools are supposed to educate the children better to exchange their knowledge and prepare them better for the future role in the world. Well then, let's address the argument the education should be personalized. While this viewpoint has its merits, there are several counterbacks worth consideration. I will put a point on it. And the first point is lack of standardization. Because its personalized education might lead to a lack of standardization across schools. When each student follows a unique learning path, it becomes a challenge to ensure constant quality and uniform knowledge across the board. And point number two is resource constant. Why? Because it's implying personalized education requires significant resource, including well-trained teachers, technology, and also tailored materials. In many educational systems, resource construction hinder the feasibility of such an approach. And the next is social skills and collaboration. Traditional classroom settings allow the student to interact with peers, collaborate, and develop institutional social skills. Personalized education, essentially, if it delivered remotely, may limit these opportunities for social growth. The next is narrow perspective. Personalized can be individually leads to students focusing only to their interests or strength. Exposure to broad a range of the students and ideas to crucial of the well-rounded education. And also preparation for real-world challenges. While personalized learning can enhance specific skill, it may need educationally prepare students for real challenges, and that can require adaptability, teamwork, and problem solving in a diverse context. Moving on to the rebuttal argument two, the speaker one addressed that. Let's address that argument that primary and middle school years are crucial for children development. While these viewpoints hold true many ways, there are counterbacks to consideration. First is individual variations. Children's development is a highly individualized. some students thrive during these years while others may face challenges, it's essential to recognize that not all experiences are universal mold shaping. And the next is later stage matter too. While primary and middle school years lay the foundations, later stages such as high school and beyond continue to shape a person's outlook on life. Adolescence and young adulthood also play significant roles in identifying information. And that's why all the summaries, of the rebuttal and argument too, while the primary school years are crucial, we must also recognize the development is multifaceted and continues beyond these stages. A holistic perspective consider all life perspective in shaping confidence and outlook. And now we're going to my main argument on this motion. First and foremost, let's consider a practical implication of this proposal. If we abolish age-based grouping, we would need to conduct individual assessment of each children's competency and intelligence to determine their appropriate academic level. This would be a daunting task, both in terms of time and resources. Moreover, it will be unfair to the subject young children to such rigorous assessments, which could be stressful and devoting. Furthermore, age-based grouping allows children to develop social skills and interact with the peers of their own age. This is crucial in building a strong foundation of their personalized and social development. Grouping children solely based on their competency and also intelligence could result in a lack of social interaction and isolation, leading to unbalanced personality and social development. Villamorong in Wong and Watkins 2001 stated that the disadvantage of the ability grouping is that class grouping is carried out. The distance between students who have higher abilities and students who have low ability will be wider. The result of the research, Hornby, White, and Meitel 2011 showed that the class grouping based on ability, homogeneous class, is not an effective way to improve students' academic achievement. Of study on class grouping conduct at the university level of Bahar 2015 state that there was no effect of their learning process, no change in learning behavior, as well as the social and friendship between students. And also, in conclusion, abolishing primary and schools grouping based on age instead of grouping them by competency and intelligence is also misguided proposal. It is impractical, unfair, and could exacerbate inequality in education systems. Which is why we should expand more or deliver more materials for the group-based education for the group-based age. That is my argument and my rebuttal. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.